Live ad read to get underway, guys. First, so only 3 sleeps until the decider. Can the Mighty Blues bring down the Maroons at the Suncorp Stadium and bring home the trophy this Wednesday, 13th of July, 8 p.m. And the best place to watch the game, of course, is West Ashfield, where you can enjoy the Gardens State of Origin burger and beer deal for just $19. And then next Sunday afternoon, the West Tigers take on the Penrith Panthers live from CommBank Stadium at 2 o'clock. And again, if you're not heading out to Parramatta to watch us take on the Panthers, you can watch it on the big screen at West Ashfield. For more information, visit West Ashfield's website, westashfield.com.au. Step up and play at the home of the West Tigers, West Ashfield, 115 Liverpool Road, Ashfield. Members' prices noted above. Terms and conditions apply. Drink responsibly. And welcome into a very, very special episode of the West Life podcast. I'm your host, Josh Barnett. As I said, we are sponsored by West Ashfield Leagues, the best place to watch the game live and loud on Wednesday night, the Origin, and Sunday, when the Tigers take on the Panthers. And of course, we're sponsored by MG Pump Solutions. Big Shane. He's missing a good one tonight. Good episode. We've got our West Tigers hat-trick star, Tess Staines, on tonight. We'll get to Tess in just a second. Just firstly, a reminder, please follow us on the socials at Westlife Pod on Instagram and Twitter. And if you'd like to support and take part in the show, patreon.com/Westlife. And YouTube, we've got, pretty big stream of YouTubers in there. I think Tess said you said you're going to send it out for your family to watch. So we've got some pretty big numbers right now in the YouTube stream. So welcome to everyone in there and on Facebook and Twitter. But yeah, please subscribe, notifications, comment, even if you don't like what we say, whatever. Just give us comments, like, shares, share it with your friends. Now, to our star of the show. I'll leave. We'll go to the boys first. Sorry, Tess. I'll leave you hanging. Aaron, we headed to Leichhardt Oval last night, Saturday night. You're back in Orange now. At least the girls making the grand final made the weekend a bit more easy to take with the boys going down last night.
Yeah, thanks, Josh. Absolutely. It was an amazing game to watch. I enjoyed every moment of it. Then, headed down to Leichhardt, sat in the blustery cold, and already back at home in Orange. So it's been a long weekend, but worth it to go watch the team play. I'm a bit disappointed I won't be able to get up to Campbelltown in time for the grand final next Saturday for the women's team, but I'll be listening and tuning in while I'm driving down.
Yeah, absolutely. And Rob Bashara, you didn't come out to Leichhardt. You brushed me. I had the ticket there for you. You found a better friend, a better offer. No, I'm only joking. But as I said, at least the girls made it a weekend to celebrate.
Yeah, the girls were fantastic. As I was telling you before we came on air, I watched the game in full on replay this afternoon. And you know what? I think the boys did us proud as well. We've been looking for that sort of, commitment and effort for 80 minutes. And I think we got that from both our women's and men's team. Pity we couldn't get away with both games. I think we could have won both of them.
And welcome to all. Just checking the comments now. I've got a few fans of yours Tess in the comments. I can see coming through. Thank you for
Yeah,
getting
I'm reading
hits up.
those myself.
Yeah, but man, what 3 tries for you yesterday and making the grand final. Couldn't go much more perfect than that for you.
No, it was very good. It was an unreal experience, but like there was a lot of work there in the middle to get the ball out to me. So I can't take all the credit for those tries because there was some really good work that led to all that, and I was just lucky enough to be on the end of it, I guess.
And of course, Jess. Jess. I keep saying Jess. Your media manager, Jess and Tess. Always, I got them mixed up when we were messaging today.
There is
Tess,
a few Jesses in our group
yeah,
too.
and there's a few Jesses in the team, as well. So obviously you played in the WNRL for the Eels. Hopefully 2023 we can change that and you put you in the colours you're wearing right there. In the WNRL.
I don't know. It all depends. It all depends. There's no talks about contracts for next year.
Of course.
They sort of just want us to get through the end of this season. Get the second half of the 22 season done and dusted, and then talk about contracts after that. So for now, we're just worrying about what's in front of us.
Yeah, I don't want to get in trouble for tampering or something. Don't want to. We've already in enough trouble with other things, so I don't want to get in trouble for trying to tamper your contract for 2023. But of course, we'd love to see you at the West Tigers WNRL first season next year. But a few of your mates have already kind of covered. It's a cliche question. They've asked. Marlon asked. I was going to ask it as well. So, what age did you start playing footy, and what was it? Yeah, what was it that made you want to, or who was it that wanted to make you that made you want to play footy?
So I played league with the boys up until I wasn't allowed to. So I think I stopped a little bit earlier too because I was only very little. So I think I stopped playing with the boys when I was about 10 or 11, and then jumped over to league tag. And then, 2019, I got back into the league. I had just turned 17. I was old enough to play in this tournament by like 24 hours. And then,
Wow.
it all kicked off in 2019. So, yeah. And then the reason why is I've got 4 older brothers. They all played league or contact sports. So it was always wrestling or backyard footy or something like that. So, it sort of just flowed on from there.
Yeah. Again, they kind of your mates are kind of stealing my questions right from under me. Marlon again. Nicola wants to know, has playing alongside Jess Surgis help your game as well? I didn't actually have that question, but not a bad one thrown in there.
No, it's not. It's absolutely unreal getting to play outside Jess. It's improving my game as well, because I obviously started like the start of our Harvey Norman season in centres, and I've played that all year, and Jess has come back, so it's been good because I can watch how she approaches different situations and sort of how calm she remains and how she goes about things, and then to know what kind of footy player that she is, and then to have the opportunity to have her on my inside, like. It's a surreal experience. It really is, and always feel safe outside of her. Like, it's really cool.
I'll get to there's Brad and Brett Staines in the comments here. I'll get to their question in a second, but I know I'm joking. I put 2 and 2 together there because they're literally asking who your favorite brother is.
Yeah, there we go. There'll be questions from the other 2 pop up. Don't you worry.
On back to footy, who was your favourite team and player or players growing up watching footy?
So my family goes for Storm, except Dad. Dad goes for Dragons. So
okay.
So whole life supported Storm. Always loved Billy Slater as a fullback. I just thought he was unreal, and I was like obviously supporting them through the stage of the little trio that they had with their 1, 9, and 7. I loved watching the 3 of them work together. But yeah, I always really liked watching Billy Slater.
Yeah, that age, I guess, where the Queensland and the Storm domination pretty much is all you can remember. You wouldn't even obviously remember the 2005 grand final. That's way too early.
Wait, I wasn't even in school at that stage.
Yeah, that's it makes me feel old, let alone you, Rob. But so
no, I
barely...
can definitely still remember them dominating for Queensland especially, and obviously Storm as well. But yeah.
Right. So on this season, obviously you're playing in the grand final. The Harvey Norman West Tigers are playing Saturday 2:00 at Campbelltown against the Sharks. You guys actually won 3 in a row. Kind of talking about 2005 West Tigers, and a little bit like Rob, the 88 Tigers, I think, did something similar. So the girls basically won 3 games in a row, snuck into the semis, and then you guys obviously knocked off the first place Bears, in the semi to make the grand final. So the last few weeks, was there something that just clicked into gear, like that just this end of season form? Is it is there anything you could put it down to?
To be honest, I think we've just been building throughout the whole year. Like each game, we picked up on those little 1%ers that we knew that we needed to fix. And we just kept building, and we just moved on. Like review was done at the end of every week. We picked up our weaknesses, our strengths, and obviously built more towards the weaknesses. I think we've become more of a gemmed group, I guess you could say.
Okay.
And we just enjoy being around each other, to be honest. Like I go into training and you're just so excited to see everyone because, no matter what mood you're in, like those girls are always going to lift you up. And when you have that connection with those girls, like you want to show up for them and you don't want to let them down, and you'll do absolutely anything and you'll fight tooth and nail to put your body on the line for them. So I think we've really just started to build that really tight-knit little group within us, and we just want to show up for each other, I think.
Yeah, you could tell that, like, following the West Tigers women Instagram and this, like the social pages, it definitely look like you guys enjoyed yourself in each other's company. And I guess the thing with the girls' side of it, obviously there's Harvey Norman, the New South Wales Cup, and there's New South NRLW, your Origin camps and that sort of thing. It'd be pretty close knit across the board, wouldn't it? Because you pretty much, and obviously 1-year contract, so girls go between teams and that sort of thing in NRLW. So if you only play for a few years, you kind of almost have been teammates with almost an opponent to almost anyone. Is that kind of what it's like?
Yeah, kind of. I guess, so there's like, even when I wasn't lucky enough to have a contract, like I'd still made a few teams where I'd played either with or against all of those girls. So then when you get up here and you're doing it on a regular basis, like there is, like you mingle, like, everybody you're either with or against, like I said.
Yeah. Your last loss, I said you won 3 in a row. I was actually at your last loss. So you guys played your last loss was against the Sharks, funny enough. You played on a cold Monday night at the New South Wales Rugby League Centre of Excellence. I actually was one of the people sticking my nose through the fence there, hoping you girls got home there. There was a bit of controversy that game. The clock stopped working. My eyes, I could barely see the clock, which was in the corner, but it seemed like the clock had stopped working or something. You girls were literally about to score to win the game, and then all of a sudden ref blew time off.
Honestly, I don't know. I try not to look at the clock because then I know how much longer I've got to be out there puffing for, so I try and just avoid looking at it. But I never heard any of that. It was a really good game. I think we sort of, towards the end there, we did it to ourselves a little bit. In that last 10 seconds or so, we made a few silly little decisions that obviously didn't come out in our best favour. But we look back at that and we seen where we went wrong. But we'll build on that.
Yeah. My question, I meant to ask out of that, the point was, rather than just bragging to say I was at the game watching it, there was heaps of West Tigers support there, like along the fence. Even though we literally was watching through a fence, there was still like plenty support from West Tigers fans. How have you girls felt that from along this season from West Tigers fans? Have they been pretty good fan base to play for?
Yeah, it is. Like, there's always going to be a crowd. My parents have come to every game, so it's always nice to look into the crowd and see them sitting there. But like we do have a very good support base. Like Dan's there every weekend and he's got his big flag going, and it doesn't matter whether it's rain, hail or shine, he's out there waving that for us. But when you got those people behind you, like it makes you want to succeed even more, because you know that they've got your back and they're going to back you through anything as well, and they're coming out to support. So having that support crew, like it really pushes you that one step further to really get that result that you want.
Oh, shouts to Jess. Jess is in the comments. She answered a question. So someone, Kathy, a regular of ours, Kathy asked, how can we watch the game next Saturday? New South Wales Rugby League Facebook going to live stream it. So check that out. Yeah, I've done that a couple of times with your games and Chromecast it to your TV. It's the way of the future. It's I wish
it's very handy.
Yeah, I wish all like New South Wales, like the flag and all the grades were live streamed. I wish. Yeah, I won't go on a rant here, but it's always good when you can catch the game through the
it is.
stream.
It's good when you've got family that aren't there either.
Yeah,
and then they can all jump on board and they can all watch.
So you guys are from down Griffith way, is that right?
Leeton. I'm 55 k's from Griffith. Yeah.
Okay. So growing up in the country, pretty country. I sound a bit like a city person here, but a bit of a country style. I'm kind of semi. I'm from the Central Coast. We're kind of semi country rugby league technically, but no, we're not. No. But
I don't think so.
No. I definitely didn't grow up on a farm, but But do you think that helps with footy? Like country rugby league seems to be pretty strong. Produce a lot of great players, despite obviously having much less population than us city folk.
Yeah, I think it's starting to spread more out there. For the women's league, there's not much out from where I'm from, so which is why I've made the move up to Sydney to sort of chase that, because we just don't have those opportunities like it. There's actually no rugby league comp down my way. Like the closest you'd drive for a game is to play in the Canberra comp. So you'd be driving up to probably 3 hours to play a game every weekend.
Yeah.
So the more that builds, the easier it'll get. But I think it's helpful for the girls back at home knowing that there is a pathway now that they can follow, because I've gone and done it and I'm up here now. So they have someone that they can actually see doing it. So it's worthwhile. But yeah, you learn, like you take your opportunities when they come as well. And it's always going to be tough. But yeah.
As you must have laughed when I tried to claim that I was a country boy.
I did.
Oh, sorry, Aaron's from Orange as well, so he's a legit country boy yourself. Yeah. Any questions for Tess? I've got some some light hitters that we always ask the professional sports people that come on the show. But do you have any questions for Tess before I get to those?
Aaron, did you want to start or do you want me to ask?
Yeah, you go ahead, Rob.
Okay, well, first, a couple of quick ones. Do you prefer playing centre or wing?
I really like centre. I actually originally started out as a fullback.
Okay.
Back in 2019, that's how I got into the system. So I do like my fullback as well. But yeah, as it's turned out, I got to go into the centres, which I do really, really enjoy. But yeah, the wing's not too bad. As long as I know that I've got somebody that I can really trust on my inside and that I back to do the job with me, then I'm fine. But yeah, I enjoy centres. You get to play around and run a few different lines and make a few different decisions.
Okay, and I noticed you're a pretty instinctive player. There was a kick yesterday where it looked like it was going dead in goal, and you backed yourself to run it out of the in goal, and 5 tackles later, you scored a try. Like, it was incredible. You got it. You just made a little bit of a break, got 10 meters out, and we just got a roll on and got down there. So I think you're selling yourself short a bit about some of your work. That second try was quite brilliant. You had a lot to do, and you did it really well.
Oh, thank you.
I was going to ask you about one of the girls. Looked like she got a bit of a head knock yesterday. Taylor Osborne, how is she?
Taylor Osborne. Yeah, I think she's fine. Taylor's tough as. She's fine.
We got no injuries for this week? We got no. Everyone will be right for the game?
As far as I know, as long as we can get on top of Ebony Pryor's cramps that she was going down with, yeah, I think everybody's pretty sweet.
Fair enough.
Nothing was brought to the surface. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think it wasn't fair on her because she came off and 3 minutes later she had to go back on the field. So
yeah, she did, and then she kept going down.
She doesn't look like she's a big thing either. She's quite tiny. So
no, she's not. But you definitely can't underestimate her. Cannot underestimate old Eb.
Do you guys have like a player's player award at the end of the game? Do you guys vote on who was like your player of the match?
Yeah, we do. We didn't do one on the weekend. We got sent out a message to send Jess our player's player. So I dare say we'll get told that tomorrow night, I reckon, at training.
Yeah, okay. Well, there were quite a few of you that played well, but I've never watched the team like a full game like that before, and I was quite impressed with the 5'8", Lasana Lutu. She's just amazing. Like, she can ball play, she can run. The shape you guys play with, it's quite expansive. Is that something Brett Camorley instilled in you guys, or was it Adele, or is it both, or who who would you like say your style has been provided by?
We've obviously been coached. Like, it was unreal having Noddy in there. Like, that was an experience and a half. Yeah, that was absolutely insane. I didn't get to do much of the preseason with him, obviously with Eels, but I dare say like his structure would have come into it and the way he would like to play, and him being a half as well. He obviously worked a lot with our halves and got like their ball playing skills to a good level. And then Adele's obviously been there since the start, so he's been in and around that, and we've just played off of that. But a lot of it, I think it does come down to us. Like Bucky, for her age, she's an absolutely unreal ball player, and I can't wait to see the path that she goes down. But I think it's just very free flowing. Like, Bucky's very much so eyes up, and we're just sort of lucky that the three outside of her with our edge, like Kez, Jess, me, and Taylor out the back, we can sort of just adjust on the go, I guess. Yeah. And just play some flowy footy. But it just sort of seems to work well, and we go with it.
Yeah, you seem to be a pretty tight-knit group, because when Emily Curtin was getting stood over you, everyone kind of flew in, and I'm like, this is mad. Like, why don't our men's team do this?
Yeah, I think obviously, like I said before, like you spend that much time with those girls. Like, you're in there from say 5 till 8:30 a few nights a week. Like, those girls become your second family. Like, you spend so much time with them, and obviously you see one of them in trouble. Like, you're not just going to stand there and be like, no, she'll be fine. Like, you want to go in and help them. Like, no one's getting sent anywhere on their own. And that's why as soon as you could sort of see it start to go down, we were in there. Like, it's not ideal. It's not what we want in the women's game, I guess, but it happened. And I know that all of us girls will always be there to back one another, no matter what.
Oh, and 2 more quick questions. Do you prefer playing standalone games, or do you prefer playing before the men?
I think as long as we get to play footy, we can't really argue, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great answer.
It's much of a muchness. Like, you're still playing the game, whether there's a big crowd or no crowd. Like, you've still got to be out there for 70 minutes. It's obviously it's a cool atmosphere when you get to play before the men's game, or after we played at Leichhardt after the men's game. Like, that is a really good feeling. But we get attention on our own as well, I guess, and we're still going to have those supporters. But it's crowd or no crowd, we still show up to play some footy.
Yeah, well, I'd encourage everyone to go out Saturday. I mean, Josh, are you going to go out? I'm pretty sure I'm going to be
Yeah,
going.
if I can, look, the wife's having shoulder surgery tomorrow. If I can get permission and a babysitter for Saturday, I really want to head out to Campbelltown.
Well, it's
Saturday,
not often the West Tigers are in a grand final, so I think everyone
no, once in my life,
to get out there and support the girls. And just finally,
sure.
do you reckon we're going to get 3 State of Origins next year? There seems to be a big push for it, and I can't understand why the best game doesn't get a decider if it needs one.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not really a call that I get to make, but yeah, it would be really cool to see us get 3 games. Like we're obviously building every year, and the clubs are expanding, so it'll only be a matter of time before we get the 3 games. But yeah, hopefully we do, because the quality's obviously there. Like we saw how high of a standard their game was this year. Like that was insane to watch. But
yeah, it was a great game.
Fingers crossed we'll get to 3 games and we'll stick to it.
Good stuff. Well, I'll let Aaron throw a few questions at you, but good luck Saturday. Really enjoyed yesterday.
Thank you.
Alrighty. So back on the incident you were talking about before, where you all rushed in when they were standing over Emily. Was there a message that went out to the team, or did someone speak up when both teams were down to 12 players? How did that sort of unfold?
Well, I guess it was the same for both of us, because we both went down to 12 players, but we went into the huddle and we knew that like they were obviously within the 20, and those next 10 minutes were going to be very important, because they still had 15 or so minutes, which is plenty enough time to get the points that they needed. But yeah, we just regathered and cooled ourselves down. We took a few deep breaths together and got our head back in the game, and just said, like, we've really got to dig deep here. Like, Vards will be back in 10 minutes. Just grind it out while we have to and work the best that we can. They obviously scored some points, but hats off to our girls in the middle and our edges. Like we defended that line like very, very well, and they were lucky enough to get through. But after that, we just held our own and waited for Vards to come back. But yeah, we just remained calm and just got our job done.
Yeah, did a very good job of it too. Are you one of the bigger talkers in the team, or do you kind of keep a little bit more quiet and behind the scenes?
At training, I'm normally pretty vocal. I always laugh about a little bit of stuff, but on the field, I try and talk, but you sometimes it's like you sort of forget because you just get caught up in the game. But there is chat out there. I obviously try, like on the wing especially, you got to try and talk as much as you can and counting plays and numbers and all that sort of stuff. But I try to be. I should probably be a little bit more vocal. Thank you, Jess.
Jess, for those who can't see, Jess just said she's a pest. Very nice.
I definitely am.
Did the girls with the big game experience have much to say about this week and leading up to the grand final after the game yesterday?
To be completely honest, we just tried to be in the moment yesterday after our win. The only chat about next weekend was the fact that we're versing Cronulla. And other than that, Adele just wanted us to be in the moment and enjoy what we'd just done, because we just put in a hell of an effort. We really did. And to be the first time that West Tigers girls had gotten into a grand final, like that was a feeling that he really just wanted us to enjoy and be together and just be happy with what we'd done. So there wasn't any chat about next weekend. We'll go into training tomorrow and sort of push the game that just happened aside and focus on our next task. But we just wanted to enjoy what we'd done.
Yep, fair enough. So the Tigers and Sharks are both obviously getting NRLW teams next year. So I think the game's going to have a really good atmosphere about it in preparation for that. Obviously, it's more than 12 months away, but it is a bit of a taste of what could be to come for the women's game.
Yeah, it is. we were obviously very, very excited when we got our NRLW license for all the work that had gone in behind the scenes, because there's a lot of work that we don't see, and I dare say Cronulla would have been the exact same. Like the camaraderie would have been pretty high around both clubs. So I think this weekend will be a good show of what's to come and the talent that can be pushed into these two clubs next year. So it should be very exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Good
And
question.
Last one.
Oh yeah, go Az. I'll ask Marlon's question after your last one.
Last one, just a little bit more of a fun one from me. Thanks to Jess for this, but in your opinion, who's the biggest pest in the team?
I don't know if I can throw myself under the bus for that one.
You're allowed to
Shawnee's a bit of a pest. We actually had a little awards night within like just our playing group as a bit of fun the other week, and Shawnee got the biggest pest. She's always walking around and flicking or hitting people, and just being known.
Thanks, Tess. Best of luck to the team for the game on Saturday. I'm disappointed I won't be able to be there, but I finish work in Orange at 2 and I'll be on the road immediately afterwards. So I'll be tuning in while I drive down.
Lovely. Thank you.
Marlon Weber, another great question. Different coaching styles from Noddy to your current coach?
Obviously every coach is different. Everybody takes a different approach to situations. There is two very different styles. Can't really, I don't know how to put it into words type thing. Noddy's he's very cool, calm and collected. Like he was our blue shirt there for a little bit. And he can bring the, like, I don't know how to say it, like can just calm everybody down type thing, which is pretty handy. And then Adele's been really cool, really good these last few weeks, stepping up into that head coaching role. He's really like sort of calmed everything down the best that he can. It's good. Like it's good to have the two different coaching styles because it's nice to learn different things. But they definitely two different coaches.
All right, just to finish off, Tess. So every West Tigers player we have on the show, we ask the same 8 non-footy questions. So pretty easy ones. First up, favorite food or meal?
Oh, this is the hardest question that I can ever be asked because I absolutely love food. If it's like a pub meal, I can't go past a pub meal. I love a palmy. But mum's roast with a mashed potato and veggies. That's an absolutely unreal meal.
Good answer that one. Both of those, a roast and a palmy at the pub. Yeah. Do you have a favorite restaurant at all? You haven't been in Sydney. I might be back home or in Sydney that you've gone to.
God, haven't really gone and done all of that stuff in Sydney. Back home there's a really nice Italian restaurant that you sort of only go to for birthdays or that sort of thing. So Benvenuti's at home. That's
big Italian population. Obviously Griffith. Big Italian population down there. My wife's Italian, so they kind of know that. Their favorite movie. Do you have a favorite movie?
Ooh. Yeah, I do actually. I've had it since I was a kid. The boys will get a laugh out of this. It's everybody will. It's called 8 Seconds. It's a bull riding movie.
Yeah, right. It's a random one. Have you seen that one, Rob?
Never seen it, no.
Yeah, I haven't heard it. Have you seen it?
Nope.
Yeah, I don't think many people will, but it's a bull riding movie, and I can remember when I was younger, I absolutely fell in love with the actor, and I've just loved the movie ever since, even though I know what happens and every single time. Who's
the actor?
Luke Perry. Luke Perry plays Lane Frost.
As in 90210. Luke Perry. Yeah, right. He passed away, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, that was sad.
Yeah. He did.
Favorite TV show?
Oh,
It's kind of hard these days. You've grown up kind of with the streaming sort of era. You don't know the pain of only having although you grew up in the country, maybe you do know the pain of only having 5 TV channels.
pretty much. Growing up, the TV show that we all watched, me and the brothers, was McLeod's Daughters.
Yeah,
we all watched that, and that was when Mum wasn't home. We got to stay up later. And watch that before she got home, and then it was a mad rush to get into bed, so she didn't know we were up late.
Yeah. With what was her name? Bridie.
Yeah.
Something. Yeah. My wife's favorite TV show growing up too. Favorite athlete growing up, or favorite all-time athlete.
My favorite athlete at the moment, Ash Barty. I really like the way she carries herself and everything she's achieved at such a young age, and the way she's able to, speak and express herself. I really respect her.
And a West Tigers fan as well.
Yes.
Love it. He can't. I mean, she has to be the least hateable person. In Australia, like she's
every
amazing.
time you watch her speak, she's absolutely she's just she's gorgeous.
Do you have any favorite sporting teams outside of rugby league? So, is there any other sports that you follow?
Oh, to be honest, not really. Not overly. I've always been a leaguey. Never really watched AFL or anything like that. Like, it's a big AFL area where I'm from, but never sort of got into following it hardcore and getting around it like that.
Favorite band or artist?
Ooh. God, these are tougher questions when you're on the spot, aren't they?
Go back to the footy ones.
We've had a country thing in all the answers though, so I'm feeling
it
like
was
country answer.
Lee Kernaghan or
no,
trying to think.
Not Lee. It'd be Slim Dusty before Lee Kernaghan. But at the moment, Luke Combs is getting played a little bit.
Is that a country?
It is.
Yeah. Okay.
It is.
Definitely seeing the different upbringings between us.
Very much so. Very much
the
so.
girls
That's why
from the bush.
it's very different for me living in Sydney.
Yeah. How do you find living in Sydney? Obviously, a lot more busy and stressful.
Yeah.
To live up here.
It is. It's been probably the hardest 6 or 7 months for me. I've just had just making that readjustment, like everything I've done for the last sort of 20 years, like I can't sort of bring any of that to Sydney. Like, none of my hobbies at home can be brought up here. So that's made it really hard to make that adjustment. Like even traffic, like people growing up in Sydney, like it's just second nature to them. And I get in my car, and because I'm obviously still using a GPS everywhere because I'm hopeless with directions. And I put in where I'm going, and it can be like 5.7 kilometers, and it's going to take you like 25 minutes.
Yeah.
And I look at it, and I'm just absolutely gobsmacked because, like, at home, like I said before, Griffith is 55 kilometers, and rain, hail, or shine, like it takes you 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Every single time. And you get here, and 55 kilometers is taking an hour and a half. And people are always gobsmacked because I say that I'd prefer to do the 6-hour drive home and just jump on the highway and go, rather than sitting in traffic for 45 minutes and going like 3 kilometers.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because you just cruise control on, put your podcast or your music on, and just cruise. Absolutely, I totally agree.
It's Sydney, normally my time to ring everybody.
It's just a stress factory, and that just makes the people. I always found that, like, I go to Bathurst quite a bit, and go even back home up the Central Coast outside of Sydney. You just find the people are a lot less stressed and a lot more friendly because they're just not trying to
that's it. That's also,
get the work faster than the next person.
Yeah, that's also a big adjustment because, like, at home you walk past somebody and you pretty well know
Yeah.
know everybody that you're walking past, and you speak to them, and you walk past people in Sydney and everybody's just got their earphones in and they're just looking at the ground and they're walking. Like, even that's a massive adjustment because, yeah, you're used to stopping and chatting to somebody for 5 minutes every time you go into Woolies or something.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's very big adjustment, but you got to do what you got to do, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. I'd love to live rural. The Sydney traffic is just
horrible.
You deal with it every day. It does. It wears you down. It's the it's
it
the
does.
worst.
It does.
A happy one to finish. What's your favorite thing to do that's not footy?
Spend time with my family.
Ah, beautiful. So head back home.
Yeah. Try and head home as much as I can. Normally get to like take the horses out for a ride or something like that. But yeah, family time for me is comes before anything.
Beautiful. And how many horses? So you got horses back home, or
how high can you count is the real question.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to put a number on it. Between the four boys, it's a ridiculous amount. Terrific money waster.
Yeah, it's like cars, but you got to feed them. Yeah.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Very expensive hobby.
Yeah, absolutely. Tess, thank you so much. I said it'd only take 10, 15 minutes, but you've given us 40 here on a Sunday night. You're an elite athlete and you need your sleep and prepare for the big game in
that's it.
6 days' time. Training tomorrow night, I think.
Yeah, tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, captain's run.
Okay. So how during the season, how many days a week do you guys train?
It's normally like the 2 week sessions and then a captain's run the day before you play. And yeah, like I said before, you're in there from so I'm reading my brother's comment.
Yeah. Do you like the horse racing, or you just like?
Oh, we were never into sort of the horse racing. We're more like camp drafting and all of that sort of stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, the boys are right into the investing and getting good turnovers on their stock. So yeah, that's
nice.
I'll get in trouble for that when I hang up from this you watch.
That sounds like a good life out down south. Tess, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck next Saturday. I'm going to try and head out to the game Saturday. Rob, we'll talk off air. We'll try and.
I'm definitely going. 100%.
Okay. Oh, okay.
You've been told.
I might bring the toddler. He's 2 years old. There's a hill he can run around and
do it.
Kick a footy. I'll see if I can bring him out. It's Tess, I'll let you go.
No worries.
Now, but again, thank you so much. Thank you to all your family and friends who've absolutely boosted our numbers tonight too. How good. And to Jess as well. See you in the chat as well. Jess.
No, thank you for having me. I really appreciated it.
Good luck Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck, Tess.
Cheers.
How good was that, boys? Yeah, thanks to Tess's fam. All in the chat there. Very, very supportive family and friends. That's awesome. But I'm excited. It's good as a West Tigers fan having something positive and exciting to look forward to, rather than the boys, which we're going to review now. Back to.
Come on, mate. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that.
Yeah,
bad.
okay. There's a few positives. I know, but it's not. Come on, compared to making a grand final. I can see Tess. You're still in the room there. Do you want to talk about the first grade? I can add you back in if you want. I thought you'd want to. We'll see. Do you want to talk men's footy with us, or it's up to you?
To be honest, I don't really pay attention to much of it. I can't really comment on it because we just sort of focus on ourselves and get our job done.
Okay, I'll just put you in the background then. Thanks.
Explains why she's so healthy. She doesn't follow the men's team.
She was being nice there. But, Right. So other grades, New South Wales Cup, they lost 20-38. Obviously 3 grades or 2 other grades before first grade. The Jersey Flegg boys got up. Sorry, as I get rid of this goddamn bot out of our chat, go away. Jersey Flegg won 18-12 before New South Wales Cup. And, of course, the girls, as we've just been talking about, they won 24-10 against the Bears on Saturday as well. Righto, the Sheensy news, boys. This kind of dropped late. About 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock this afternoon. I saw on the Patreon Discord, people started, saying, making basically memes and stuff that started already about this. Tim Sheen's coming back to coach the West Tigers, possibly. Rob, what do you make of this? Like, do you think friend of the show, Michael Chamis, wrote the story about it? Is this a possibility?
Oh, well, as I think one of the other reporters, David Riccio, has been saying for a few weeks now, Sheen's still got the scratch or the itch, as they say, to coach. So, look, I mean, if we'll just see how Noddy goes. I think Noddy did a good job, like a couple of days ago. So, or yesterday, I should say. It feels like Monday, but it's not, is it? So look, I think it'll just see how it pans out. It's a hard one I'm not keen on him being the 2023 coach. If it's just for 1 year, I could half accept it if they don't get the actual man that they want. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. We've just messed up this whole coaching scenario, and the Brains Trust are in a bit of a predicament right now in terms of moving forward. So I would assume Tim would be coach if they can't get anyone that really wants the job, to be honest. So I really don't know. It's just caught me by surprise, to be honest, that they consider him for next year. I really thought he might finish off the rest of this year, not next year.
Do you think this could be a case of just they can't find anyone willing to do the job?
Yeah, it very well could be. I'd imagine the situation with coaching is a lot similar to the situation with players, where you can't approach contracted coaches until the final year of their club. Maybe that's what they're trying to do with Peyton, potentially. If they can't negotiate with him until the 1st of November or whenever, then
I think it's the same.
Maybe having Sheens in for the season for Peyton to come potentially in 2024, if he would agree to, then that might be what they're trying to do.
Yeah, and I guess with that too, if Sheens, he can just move back to the football, the off-field role, and then Todd Payton come in. It's not like hiring, say, John Morris, and then in the year's time sack him to bring in Todd Payton. Sheensy could just step aside. And at his age, like he's not like he's going to coach for 4 or 5 years. He'd probably, like you said, Rob, it's probably a band-aid to get us through.
You'd hope so.
Year. They kind of, as Craig said, if he's coaching 2023, to me, they still want Serraldo, or they think they can lure Payton. Yeah, so I think, it kind of just seems like, all right, well, we can't get the guy we want. Let's just roll with Sheens. The players know him. He's coached before. I don't know, Rob. We've talked about management a lot on this show, but do you think this coaching situation, trying to hire them, how do you think they've handled it? Basically, it's just been an absolute, since we let Madge go, it's been an absolute mess.
Look, I said it last week. I think we should have had our coach wrapped up, locked up prior to sacking Madge. That would have been the way to go, as Cronulla did last year. To be fair, now that it's stuffed up, they are in a predicament. Like I'm not going to bash them for where they are now, because it's a tough spot. And if they were to sign someone for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, they just can't rush into it in 1 week. Although we do need a coach ASAP. So right now, I actually feel for them, but I think the damage was done with not having the foresight. And perhaps they assumed they had Serraldo over the line. We'll never know that unless they come out and publicly say it. So if they thought they had Serraldo, that's why they got rid of Madge. But I don't think they realised the effect that it'd have on the playing group, because the Tigers look pretty attractive as far as, I mean, I'm probably biased, obviously, being a Tigers supporter, but, go back 6 weeks ago, and even though we only had 3 wins, we had a couple of great back-to-back wins, and it looked like we had a team that was putting in every week for 80 minutes. So, the club sort of going well, some good juniors coming through, a team that's giving 80 minutes whether they win or lose. It was kind of the place I thought, a coach would want to come to. But then basically the players just really didn't put in the type of intensity that they'd been putting in previously once Madge left. And I think that might have, deterred Serralde. He probably thought, what the hell's going on here? So it's not the management's fault that the players dropped their bundle, but in effect, I feel like the players have dropped their bundle until last night. Something happened last night. There was a change in attitude. There was a change in belief. There was a change in intensity. I went from watching the start of the game, like we were at friends who were Tiger supporters, so I had no choice but to watch the game, even though I didn't want to watch it live.
And I was forced to watch the Tigers.
Yeah, it was kind of a weird game, because they got off to a bit of a flyer, back-to-back penalties, and had a couple of no tries, and they could have easily been up 12-0. And then when you saw some of the shots we were putting on, like Stefano gave me goosebumps. Like, I was like, where's this Stefano been? That's what I'm talking about. This is the sort of guy that we're trying to build our club around. Like, Stefano was back. So I just think if we at least lose, what's the right way? If I know we didn't like consolation losses, but our expectations have to start again, Josh. So last year we kind of said we want 80-minute performances and just the team to do well. And then the Madge detractors and the team detractors kind of said, oh, you know what? Well, there's no good playing if you lose by 8 points or 6 points. So, for example, if Madge was the coach last night and we lost 28-20, then everyone say, oh, yeah, it's all good for trying, but we can't win. But the fact that we played so bad for the previous 3 games, suddenly we're kind of thinking, well, guys, just give us a go, have a go for 80 minutes. So my expectations have changed to, like, just play for 80 minutes, where, you look at other teams like Parramatta, if they don't make the preliminary final or grand final, it's a failure for them. So every club's level of expectations is really different. And right now, ours is as low as it can get. So I just want to see back-to-back efforts. Like, even if Penrith put 30 or 40 points, if the guys are trying and they're just outplayed and outclassed, that's all our fans want to see. But when I personally feel the 3 games we played prior to last night, we should have won. Like, we got Manly on an off day without their best 2 players. We played Canterbury, who are rubbish, and we played the Warriors, who'd lost 7 in a row. If the boys had shown up, I think they could have won all 3 games. And I say it again, I think we should have won last night. We had a sin bin that hurt us, and maybe, a one poor kick, which, I don't want to pick on, but the reality is it did turn the game. We should have won last night, and we didn't. So, look, I'm just happy that I got to see some heart and commitment last night, and I was proud of, like I said at the start, both the women's and the men's team. They had a dig. You can't really ask for much more than that, except the victory, obviously.
All right, we'll transition out of Sheedsy talk into last night's game, which you kind of did there. Rob, we'll talk about the backs first. So a few stat leaders. So most runs and meters in the team was actually Stafford Toa. I was surprised I was obviously, as we're both at the game. You kind of, with my old eyes anyway, you kind of miss seeing which player, especially the games on the other side of the field, got the ball all the time. So was it noticeable on TV, Rob, that Stafford, obviously, because a lot of people were calling for him to be dropped, for him to come out and lead in for the backs in runs and meters. Kevin Marlowe being away, a bit of a factor here, but do you think he had a bit of a point to prove?
Well, looking at those stats, I wouldn't have thought he'd run that many meters, to be honest. So they're actually quite surprising. I was a little bit disappointed, with a couple of tries leaked down his side. And I think Parramatta's second no try, in my opinion, was a try, but I'm glad to be on the right side of a decision for a change. And that was down his side as well. So, look, it's surprising. I mean, I think we were asked last week, what would our team be if we were selecting the team? And I said I'd have Junior Tupu in there in the centres. One of those runs Junior Tupu did, like, he just beat 5 or 6 players and just stepped around. And I'm thinking now, Gee, wouldn't you love to have him in the team? And if Kenny comes back on the wing, and I thought Noffa was outstanding last night. I know his meters aren't huge or anything like that, but Noffa was as safe as houses, all night. He was really solid on that left wing, which is not his normal wing. He normally plays on the right wing. So I thought Noffa was great. So if we have Noffa and Kenny on the wings this week, surely Junior Tupu starts in the centres this week. He really needs to start in the centres. And then, Brett Camorley has a great sort of selection problem. Like, do we get Adam out of the centres into 5'8", or, like he might bring back Jimmy Roberts. He's got an abundance of centres that he can choose. But I guess Stafford will probably keep his spot based on those stats. But I still find he's a bit shaky in defence. But that's just my own personal view.
Random question from Clint. I've got to bring it up on Facebook. He said on a side note, Rob, if you spend some time putting makeup on tonight, you look amazing. Better, you are in a different room tonight. I only just noticed that. That lighting you do look good. You look very tanned.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I've just been kicked out of my own bedroom because I got my our three nieces are sleeping over. So it was like, if you're going to do a podcast for an hour and a half, 2 hours, you're not taking up the bedroom. So
the light's doing according to
the lighting's doing good.
The lighting's doing you good. And why wouldn't you watch us? Be sure to watch it. If you're listening on audio, this is what you tune into the YouTube for. My pretty graphics that I bring up on the screen. And Rob in that beautiful lighting setting there. And us too, I guess. Okay, back to rugby league. Line breaks, Noffa with 2, most try assists, Luke Brooks with 2, which were literally in the last 5 minutes. I think touches is a pretty telling one. Jackson Hastings actually touched the ball, despite going down, clenching his knees and limping for a little bit, still touched the ball the most. Can you have a guess, as you're a stats guy, you might have already checked this. How many times do you reckon Adam Dwyer touched the ball last night?
I haven't checked this, actually. I was meaning to, but he
makes the game more fun then.
Yeah, he didn't get his hands on it a lot. I'd say maybe how many there? So Jacko 73 touches. I'm hazarding a guess before I go check it out. Maybe 15.
Oh my god, you got it on the. I feel like Larry Emdale on The Price is Right. Bang on.
Ding ding ding.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's 15. He touched it 15 times. You're like Rain Man. That's bang on. But yeah, 15 touches compared to, I think Brooks was in the 50s, and Jackson Hastings 73. Obviously, Adam Dwyer, got to touch the ball more than 15 times a game.
Yeah, definitely. I have a feeling the Brooks naysayers will be out in full force this week, baying for blood, and they'll definitely want to see Adam partnering Jacko in the halves, which I don't think we could go wrong giving it a try. It's just what you do with Brooks, whether you leave him out, whether you move him somewhere else, whether he plays a bench utility sort of role. But he's had a chance to get his game fitness up now, so I really would like to see him back in the halves where he wants to play and see what damage he can do. Going to need all we can get against the Panthers this week.
Other stats, Brooksy did most of the kicking, 12 kicks for 394 meters. He did the most tackling in the back. This is backline only, obviously. 24 tackles, 2 line break assists, which might have been the Noffa tries count as line breaks. There, would you count those 2 tries?
Yeah,
he did break the line, so he might have. There's literally 2 plays in the last 5 minutes in almost garbage time, kind of. And the error leaders, so Stafford, Brooks, and Dane all had 2 errors apiece. So they share that stat that you don't necessarily want. The Brooksy thing, Rob, the elephant, I think someone in the comments called it the elephant in the room earlier. Is this week the week that most fans are calling for it? Do we get what we want? Do we get Adam and do we get what Adam wants? Do we get Adam in the 6 this week?
It's really up to Brett Camorley. I mean, I can see. Look, there's a part of me that West Tigers footy is backing yourself, trying things, like playing expansive, not resting on your laurels, not trying to protect the lead. But, as I said earlier, that kick before half time, when you're down a player and you kick early in the tackle count, it was either tackle 2 or tackle 3. And it's not just that. It was like, even if you're about to kick the ball, like hypothetically, if that was Jackson Hastings about to kick the ball and, a player was in his face, literally, he's not going to kick the ball. Like we see so many times, Jackson Hastings about to pass the ball and he'll just keep it, tuck it under his arm and take the tackle. That was a point in time where Brooksy had to recognise the play broke down, don't kick the ball. And it wasn't just that. Obviously they score the try, down the other end, and then they go back to back from the kickoff because we're already down 12 men. So I just think the players just play instinctively. Sometimes they don't take into consideration that we've got 12, they've got 13. We're coming up to half time. We're winning 12-6. I think there was a game earlier in the year, Josh, I might have mentioned it, where we were down a player again in the sin bin and the opposition team knocked it on. And Kenny picked it up and ran with it. And I'm like, Kenny, just let the freaking ball bounce. Let a few seconds go off the clock. Let's pack the scrum. Let's take another 20 seconds. Like, there's no thought of just, working the clock to our advantage. We're down a player. And really that kick, ultimately cost us the lead at half time. We went from being down 12-6, and like if it came off, we might have won the game. It might have been the one where, we scored while we were down a player, but it wasn't even close to being on. It wasn't like he kicked the ball and it went over the sideline or it went touching goal. He literally had no chance of getting it over the defender's head. So I just feel bad for Brooksy because he tries a lot of things. And, like he did those 2 try assists to Noffelate in the game and all that. But you just can't have moments like that. And it's hard for Noddy too, Josh, because Noddy's got to have that fine line between, like how do you say to Brooksy, like if he drops Brooksy, well, it's kind of like saying, well, you're stuffed up. But at the same time, I'm sure Noddy wants to encourage Brooksy to keep playing footy or keep seeing what he sees. And obviously that was a preconceived plan. They must have recognised that the Parramatta right winger, Simonson, shoots up a lot and the kick through's on. So you pre-design it, but, sometimes you've got to abort the mission, So I just feel bad for Brooksy, but Brooksy's a bit like Benji was back in the day. If Benji did something really bad, it got magnified by 1,000, and it's like that with Brooksy. But to be brutally honest, it was a magnifying moment, and then it just got magnified even more when 15 or 16 seconds before half time, he goes for an air swing with the foot instead of on just diving on the ball, and even if he got dragged into the in goal, like time would have expired. It was just 2 bad plays that happened within 2 or 3 moments, and that's unfortunately that's all our fans are going to remember. They're not going to remember any of the good things. But look, AD should be 5'8", so we've got to try. We've got to do something. I don't know what it's going to take to get the Hastings Dewey combination going.
As at the ground, did it feel like to you? I kind of felt like Brooksy was playing reckless with a bit of an attitude. Not that he doesn't care, but kind of just, and his press conference earlier in the week kind of had the attitude of he's kind of over it and doesn't give a shit anymore. It was kind of like he was just, like just trying things, as Rob said, kind of just playing cowboy sort of footy. Do you feel like that, or did he just kind of go into the plan and didn't execute it?
Is Aaron on mute or something?
As he's frozen again.
He's frozen. Oh, look, just before we get Aaron back, I just think, look, Brooksy's trying. He's not trying. Like he's having a go, but
yeah,
it's just we go back to the same old thing. Brooksy's not a game manager, and he's just the sort of guy that wants to play what's in front of him. There's nothing wrong with that, but as we always say, hindsight is 20/20, and really in hindsight, you look at those 2 things, especially while we're down a man, it really just turned the game. Like Para had no right to be ahead at half time. Right,
we'll go on as try to sort out his computer.
Sure.
Move on to the forwards. So, Fanua Pole, they don't even have a photo for him in the uniform, like the standard what do you call it? The shots they do at the start of the year. So I had to get one literally of him training because he led 18 runs, 167 meters, and 92 post contact. Rob, is that something you definitely noted on TV?
Yeah, it looks like we got Aaron back, by the way. But
yeah, welcome back, Az.
He was, look, for his second game of NRL, crazy good stats. Like, it's really encouraging for the future. But we're going to need to see, like, he's the right guy, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying if people expect him to be like a full-on first grader and expect that sort of impact every week, it's not going to happen. He needs to get 20, 30, 40 games under his belt. So, but this is all good for 2023 and 2024 and 2025. And, yeah, really encouraging signs because, we are lacking a bit of forward depth.
What did you think of Fanua Pole for the first time in the flesh, Az?
He had a really good game. Every time he carted up the ball or carted the ball upfield, he looked like he just wanted to make sure he left an impression. Probably because he was starting and he wanted to kind of take that opportunity. But yeah, I was really impressed watching him live. He came off after his first stint in front of where I was sitting, and we all gave him a standing ovation as he passed us. And yeah, it was really good to see. Obviously, it'd be his first game as a first grader at Leichhardt, and he'd get to experience what the crowd's like there, same as Justin did and Austin as well. You probably wouldn't be able to ask them, but I feel like the way Leichhardt is situated, where you've got the raised field in the middle, like the field kind of dips down to the fence, and then so it's kind of that bowl feeling, and I think the players like that, and it'd be a very different experience playing on a field like that for some of those new guys. Obviously, some of them have had the experience there playing rep games, but I think the atmosphere as a whole at a Leichhardt game is always really impressive, always really fun.
Yeah. I was walking out with Joe. Joe's in the chat. I can see him there. I was kind of saying the ratio for home grounds next year, we've been saying basically 8 Campbelltown, 4 Leichhardt, but I don't know, that Leichhardt, the fact that we had 10,000 people there, and it wasn't like it was 50-50 with the Eels either. I reckon it was 80% Tigers. Would you agree, Az?
Or I'd say maybe 70%. I saw
30?
a lot of blue. I also took a bit of a walk around the field at halftime, and there was a few sections on the hill where there was a heck of a lot of blue. And
yeah, so yeah, it's obviously playing the Eels. That was 13K. Sorry, Joe. Thank you. It was 13K. So, I mean, 70% of 13K is about 10,000 people, roughly. Quick maths in my head. So the fact that this team, it's a cold Saturday night. The weather wasn't too bad, but to get a decent crowd, the hill was pretty much full. West Tigers fans, God, we're loyal in a game that no one expected us to win, and we still turn up. And the Leichhardt factor, I don't know. There has to be at least 4 Leichhardt games next year, in my opinion. It's just there's just something about it. I think we could go crazy and dilute it by going 6-6. I don't think maybe quite that, but man, just being at Leichhardt Oval, it's something that I don't know. We're biased, but I don't know if other teams. I guess they do. I guess everyone's got the other Sydney teams have that aura, but I mean, commentators seem to go on about how good Leichhardt Oval is, but I don't know. Maybe I was reminiscing about better times. What do you reckon, Rob? Are you still? How many games do you think Leichhardt Oval should get next year?
Like I don't want to go. Like we've said in the surveys, I don't want to keep changing my mind, but I just think the more games at Campbelltown, the better. And that's no disrespect to Leichhardt. I love Leichhardt. Yeah. We've just got to make a call, guys, and work out which is our growth area. Like, I'm sure New Brown would love to have every game at Leichhardt because he seems to grow a leg at Leichhardt. You know what I mean? So, and maybe the crowd brings out the best of them. But you know what? We've had some great games at Campbelltown with some great atmospheres. So I'm not going to knock Campbelltown, and I love travelling out there, and I'm looking forward to going out.
Yeah, I do love Campbelltown as well. Yeah,
Yeah, but I just think we can't keep sitting on the fence with these guys. It's if they go
Campbelltown should have the most.
Look, if they go 50-50, it's not the worst thing in the world, because at least 50-50, you're getting a lot more home games now. It's like 6 each or even more.
Yeah.
So, but, to have 3 at Campbelltown and 3 at Leichhardt, what a load of shit. Like, that's just not good enough, guys. It's not good enough. And, you want your kids growing up and wanting to be West Tigers, boys and girls. Like they should be able to see like if we had our home ground at Campbelltown and, for example, the girls are playing out there all the time, then you got young girls out there that want to be West Tigers. Like, it's just, we've just got to make a decision. But I'm easy for now. Like, if it's split 50-50, that's fine. But I really think as many games as possible should be at Campbelltown.
Michael on YouTube asked, is this our last year at CommBank? Yes, it's off contract this year, when we've been told that it's pretty likely that we're going to go back to all suburban next year. So what the ratio will be, not sure, but yeah, we've talked about it a lot this year. Gavin on Facebook asked, Leichhardt game should be on Sunday afternoon. Whose decision is it? It's a TV. So Channel 9 get first crack. They pick their Thursday, Friday, Sunday arvo, and then the rest, basically Fox Sports, allocate them. So it's not up to the club. Brisbane Broncos get their Friday nights. They just have that power, unfortunately. Or Thursday. It's usually Thursday or Friday nights. There's always Broncos being the biggest club. But you can't dictate I agree. If Leichhardt got 3 Sundays a year, I'd be satisfied. The fact it's only one this year, I think.
Yeah, just
Sunday
the
afternoon, the last game of the year. If we get 3 Sunday arvos, it is that little bit better. It is very cold in the middle. Although it wasn't too bad last night, Naz. I've definitely been colder at the footy. I didn't have my jacket on most of the game, so it wasn't too bad. But yeah,
I think Leichhardt's proven, Josh, that whether it's Sunday afternoon or whether it's Saturday night like last night where you got 13,000, or Friday night like when we played Canterbury, 6 weeks ago or thereabouts, we're going to pull a crowd either way. So I think, to be fair,
I think it does lift the team 10-15%.
It probably does, but I think with the Campbelltown games, like, don't put a Campbelltown game on at 6 o'clock on a Friday and expect people to sit in traffic on the M5 to get there by 6 o'clock and they finished work at 5 o'clock. So I think they've got to be a bit realistic. Like, if they're going to, I don't want a 6 o'clock game at Leichhardt, but if you're going to have a 6 o'clock game at Leichhardt, like we did against Canterbury, 2 teams that are basically at the bottom of the ladder, and we pulled in a great crowd there. Well, if someone's got to suffer, put it at Leichhardt, because we get a crowd anyway. But we've just got to try and encourage some bigger crowds out at Campbelltown, and hopefully with a bit of winning down the track, that might change.
Other stats back to the rugby league itself. Forwards, line breaks, literally just 1 to Lids and 1 to New Brown. Tackle breaks, 5 for, who did I put there? That's Stefano. And the quickest play the ball speed. I realize with this stat, Kelma Tuolagi has the quickest play the ball speed, but he also only ran the ball, I think, 4 times. So he did 4 really good quick runs, while the others only did a measly, they were like a 10th slower, but did 4 times as many runs. So not the best indicator of speed there, because, if you run less...
It's an average.
Yeah, it's an average speed, and he had less runs. So, not going to give Kelma too much praise there, because he was pretty... non-existent in this game.
He was poor. I barely noticed him at all, offensively and defensively. It was almost like he wasn't there, which is pretty fitting considering he's not going to be there.
3 runs for 30 meters, as Anthony said there. So it's thoughts on Lids? Joe's brought up, get rid of Lids, bring back Simpkin. Are we still thinking Simpkin? New Brown, I thought New Brown was really good in this game, Rob.
Yeah, I thought New Brown was great. I noticed New Brown getting a little bit angry at times with like looking for his first receivers and players getting in the right spots on the field, which was, like if we're going to have Appy Coruscant next year, I mean, New Brown looks like he'd be the second best hooker. So it actually puts, Lids and Simpkin and, we've still got Rua to come back as well. So
Yeah.
I don't know what the club's going to do with that. We can't have 5 or 6 hookers. Like that's just a bit silly unless they're going to transition Rua into some sort of a lock.
Yeah.
But just on what you guys were saying about Kelmer, like our whole right side kind of got starved of the ball and we really didn't do much. Like you look at, Tupu and Adam and Kelmer, like they really didn't get much ball at all. Everything was left side attack. And when we were in the red zone, I think we didn't throw enough at him in the red zone. We were doing a lot of one-up hit-ups and just organising. We were too conservative. There was no special play unless we did something really radical, like Dane Laurie chipping over the top in the second half or something like that. I just thought our attack was really, really bland, to be honest. And Kelmer, that's not enough output for Tuolagi. If they're not going to give him the ball, like it's just craziness. I thought he tackled pretty well. I actually thought, I know he missed some tackles, but I thought a lot of his tackling was like he was hurting opponents. But yeah, his output in attack was awful. But I don't know if that's his fault or the fact that we just kept working the ball right to left.
Just bringing up his tackles. He was 35 and 4.
Yeah.
So yeah, he wasn't. Luke Garner, Joe Fingali 38 and 4. Luke Garner 37 and 2. Kelmer 35 and 4. So yeah, so he's up there with in terms of tackling. Yeah, he definitely didn't let us down there. But yeah, in terms of running, because damaging a ball runner is his MO. So
yeah, that's crazy why he only got the ball 3 times. Like we should be structuring some play for him to get the ball.
Is that partly his fault? Or is it partly game plan fault?
The honest answer is I don't know, but I would assume it's partly game plan fault. If you got a strike runner, like we should be setting up, like remember in the old days, Brooks would do that short ball to Garner, like it was kind of their play. Like I don't think we do enough of that sort of stuff for Kelmer. So and it's proven last night, by only getting the ball 3 times. So
maybe could it be because he's leaving?
Well, then what's he there for? It could be.
Yeah.
It could be. But why is he there if you're not going to play him properly? So it's just, look, I mean, Noddy's just feeling his feet a little bit. But honestly, I was just really rapt that the boys were in it mentally all night, never gave up.
Sure.
And to be fair, if Adam nails a couple of those kicks from the sideline at the end, we would have had an intense last 2 minutes, So it's just a shame that not getting those goals deprived us of a heart attack finish.
Of course, Justin Matamua on debut. So his stats for his first game: 6 runs, 58 meters, 29 post contact, 6 hit ups, 18 tackles, only 1 missed. What were your thoughts on Matamua?
He had a pretty solid debut. It was a bit disappointing to see him go to the bin.
Yeah.
It was kind of funny. A lot of the fans sitting and standing around me gave him a bit of a standing ovation as he went off and to head to the bin, and he acknowledged us as he went, which I thought was a nice little touch. Yeah. When he came back, though, I think it was really important to him to keep his head down, but I think he still had the impact that would have been expected of him on his debut, and you could see afterwards he loved it. He loved the occasion. I heard him chatting to Triple M in the car on the way home, and he was just very happy to be out there. Yeah.
Actually, I heard
he's hoping for a lot more.
I listened to the replay of that on their podcast actually today. He's it was pretty impressive in that interview actually for how young he is.
Yeah, considering that was considering a lot of the time you get players on their debut and they don't really know how to talk to the media.
Yeah,
I think he did that really well.
Yeah, for sure. Rob, the sin bin itself will get. Man, I think that sin bin. I honestly think that sin bin doesn't happen. I'll ask you to to tell me why, if it was fair or not. But in my opinion, if it doesn't happen, I think we win this game. I think it's as simple as that for me.
Let me throw a quick question back at you. Why wasn't it a sin bin?
Why was it a sin bin, you mean?
No, what? No, why wasn't it? Why do you think it shouldn't have been a sin bin?
Because he plays for the West Tigers, and I don't.
Okay, but like unfortunately, he's just gone in with the shoulder. You know what I mean? What was a little bit disappointing, and I know the guys have to worry about, third man in, but when he, like did the hit and Campbell Gillard standing over him, I think we needed a few of our boys, to come up to, and like we needed Steve Roach and Paul Siren and John Donnelly and a few blokes to come in and say, piss off, stand back, boys, he's one of ours. Like, I don't think the boys really got around him to sort of back him up. Like it was disappointing he went to the sin bin. You guys were obviously at the game, but long after the game was finished, the post-game show, they showed film of him, seeing his partner up the northern end and giving her a few pecks on the lips and then taking selfies with his mates sort of along the fence there in front of the scoreboard. He really soaked up the atmosphere. You can tell, obviously he's disappointed with the sin bin because it was huge. And from a team perspective, what sucked about the sin bin, Josh, like normally when a team scores the try, they don't worry about the sin bin, but we actually got double whammied. Like the try was, and because it would have gone back for a penalty to Parramatta had the try been disallowed. So it was just a double whammy. They get 6 points and a sin bin. It was like, and you didn't even get Mitch Moses in the head, like, so you can take him out for the game.
If you're going to hit him.
You got to hit him, do it.
Off.
Wipe that smack off his face, for God's sake. But anyway, so look, he looks like he's a Tiger through and through, and I'm sure he'll be better for the experience. But well done to him. He's just had a big smile on his face. It was great to see.
It was pretty cool. He had a whole section in the Keith Barnes stand of his family. They made a big sign for his debut, which was really cool. And as you walk in, if you towards the grandstand, they had the sign up at the front, the Keith Barnes stand, which was pretty cool. And then, as said, when he came on, he got like standing ovation from the Latcham stand that Az and I were standing in. It was pretty funny. And then, because it was he came on after we'd scored a try. I think it was 12-0, and we all clapped for him coming on. And then, because obviously we saw him come off the bench, and then it was like 20, 30 seconds later, his family obviously realised that he'd come on.
They didn't know he'd come on.
When the ground announcer mentioned it,
all the ground announcer might have announced it, and they all went up. So it was a good moment, and fingers crossed. It's we look back and he's a stalwart in this team, and next big thing.
Let's hope he's got 9 games under his belt by the end of the year. Like these are the guys we want to have the games. Him and Paul and whoever else, Austin Diaz. Like let's just keep giving him a go. And if they, for whatever reason, prove they're not worthy of being first graders or they need to go back and do more work on their game, then fine, put them back in lower grades. But give them the opportunity now while it doesn't affect our status in the competition in terms of playing finals.
Are there any players that we've missed at all that stick out before we hit our 3-2-1 to finish? Any players that I've missed across the whole team?
No, I feel like we've covered the good and the bad pretty well.
No, I think you've missed one.
Who's that?
The guy we're building the club around. Stefano Uta Ikamanu.
Yeah, he definitely was his best game.
Oh
my
God!
Yeah.
Oh my God! The hits he did last night. He was creaming people, guys. Like this is why he played. Got in the State of Origin squad last year. This is the guy we haven't seen the last 4 times he's played for the Tigers. This is really exciting to see. Like this is, he needs to be starting almost now. Like that was huge. I don't know what they said to him before the game, but someone must have insulted his family, his heritage, his religion, because he just came out breathing fire. I'm like, that's what you do, mate. That's the Tiger spirit. Like, it was just good to see. Like, I was just watching
5 tackle breaks
on TV. I was watching calmly on TV, and I'm like, why didn't you go, you absolute wuss? Because, I hadn't seen anything the last 3 games to make me want to see. I just thought we weren't going to put in, and they were just so good last night. I really regret not going. Really do.
Yeah, good. MD's, we had Joe came and sat in your seat. Your seat. It's my wife's seat, but sat in your seat with me instead. But yeah, you should next time, Rob.
All good.
Oh, this damn spam! Get the hell out of our live stream. Sorry to everyone on the YouTube. I'm trying to bloody bots in there with their inappropriate stuff. Go away. Righto, 3, 2, 1 time. And look at this, guys. I've actually, for those listening,
Hey.
I've you can tell I'm on leave at the moment. I have a bit more time up my sleeve. I've actually counted up all our votes from this year and made a pretty little graph, so you can see, who's leading. So, I thought Hastings would run away with it, but
it's a race in 3 at the moment.
Yeah, Joff and Ken not far behind. So we'll see. Tonight, because I don't think any of us will give Jacko a point tonight. So, what do you got for me? Who wants to go first?
I'll go first for a change. I always tell you guys to go first, and I'll put my hat in the ring first here this time.
Good stuff.
Let us know in the chat too, guys. What who would be your 3, 2, 1? Righto, Az, hit me.
I'm giving my 3 to Poller. I was really impressed with how he went for his first game starting. 2 to Joffa, because I could always notice him whenever he was he was constantly trying to do something to help the team. And I'm going to give my 1 to Toa, because I did like that he ran the ball a lot more. He got a lot more involved. And it was good to see from his recent bad games. So I'm happy to give him the 1 there.
Righto, Roberto.
I'm going to add to Joffa's tall tower. Joffa 3 points. He does it all. He talks the talk. He walks the walk. He was fantastic last night, and he really is the leader of our forward pack. Might be a little bit controversial, but I'm going to go David Nofaluma for 2 points. He really didn't do anything wrong last night. Safe as a bank. Finished off 2
finishes too.
Yeah, some good finishes. Not his big running meters, but just did not really put a foot wrong. Didn't drop a ball that I can remember, or come off his wing and leave a man open, or do any of that stuff. So I thought he was really good. And Stefano is getting 1 point for 2 reasons. 1 for the hits that he was producing last night, and 2 for bringing back the fire into my body, because that was just great to see. That seriously, I'm just so pumped. I want to see that again. I'm greedy now. I want to see that every week. And whatever they did to him last week, do it again this week. Kamali, do that again, mate. It worked, whatever it was.
Before you go, Josh, just to make it a bit more tense, Joff and Jacko are tied now with the 8 points so far.
And also,
actually, no, sorry,
I just realized
5. Never mind.
I looked, just because I'm just adding it to the list now. I don't think Steph had any points. I don't think he's on that list. I don't think we've given him a point this year.
Well, he was injured for a few games as well.
Yeah. That's just
he's never been the same player since he came back till last night. Really.
Yeah. And you just gave him.
I gave him 1.
1.
So
yeah,
your bar graph.
Rob just giving Josh more work to do.
I haven't got it interacting. I'm in the back end of the Google sheet, adding to it. So the graph will update in a week's time. I really should have thought about it. I kind of thought I'd think about it on the spot. That is actually quite hard, this one. It's pretty pointless giving Steph points now, but I might give him. Yeah, he didn't play long enough.
You've got to call the game as you see it. If he's one, you've got to give it. Don't give it to people that are up the top for the sake of it.
Yeah, I know. I shouldn't have counted him. It's affecting. It's tampering my
vote tampering.
My thinking. Yeah, or influencing. Yeah, I'll go Steph for 3. Yeah, Pole definitely deserves. No, okay, no. I'm gonna go Pole 3, same as. I'm gonna go 2 for Steph, and 1. Oh, procrastinating on this makes good radio. Procrastinating into a microphone. I feel like I'm with my wife at a restaurant trying to get her to order food. I'll give Noff 3. He's on 3 points for this week. So, okay. What has everyone said as I go back? A lot of comments. Judy Tiger, Naked HD 1, Pole 2, 3, Joffa 3. Tim, Pole, Steph, Zane. Yeah, Zane Musgrove. We didn't.
Started well, didn't he?
Yeah, we didn't talk. That's one player we did miss. Now that I think about it, I tweeted out after 20 minutes. He half jokingly said he looked like prime Steve Roach. He was playing like really with some vicar and some really getting stuck in. He was impressive. I wish I'd have read Tim's comment. I might have given Zane 1 point, but it's in the sheet, so I can say. Fanua Pole's everyone's got Pole. In this Pole is everywhere.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Kathy, I missed this. Kathy mentioned the Joffa kiss on Dane Laurie. Did you notice this at the ground, Kathy? I mean, not Kathy, as this.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I totally
when
missed
did that happen?
I'm not sure. Someone messaged it to me, or someone said it in our Discord, I think. When did this happen?
I think it was early in the game while we were still 0-0. But I don't know any more than that or what led to it.
Yeah, I can't remember. It was obviously a mistake that Dane did. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been sympathising with him.
Well, hints of Benji and Scotty Prince back in the day.
Definitely. But that was for better reasons. That was after a try.
Try or a field goal?
No, try.
Was it try? Okay.
Try.
Yeah, thanks to everyone in the stream tonight. As always, you make this show so much better, adding your content. Boys, anything else to add from this game as we sign off?
I just want to encourage everyone to get out to Campbelltown Saturday, 2:00, and get out to a grand final and cheer the girls home.
And what about Combank on Sunday?
We should do that too. We should do that.
or go to West Ash. Just watch it at West Ashfield instead.
Yeah, it might be a better option.
Right, boys. Great episode tonight. Obviously, to have Tess on. Absolute honor. How good was she? She was
amazing.
Fun, giving us
Tess
40 minutes of her time. Fingers crossed. We can have some more of those stars, and we can celebrate a premiership come next Saturday. So, as always, guys, in the comments, you know how we finish each episode. As always, boys, go the Tigers.
Go the Tigers.
Go the Tigers.
You're listening to another episode of the West Life podcast. As always, we are sponsored by West Ashfield Leagues Club and as well as MG Pump Solutions. If you could please subscribe if you'd love to hear us again. We're going to have episodes twice a week, every week this season, Mondays and Thursdays. So we're going to, as the season rolls in, be sure to catch us every week. And if you can, give us a like on the socials. So at Westlife Pod on Instagram and Twitter. Search for Westlife Podcast on Facebook. And if you'd like to take part in the show, patreon.com/Westlife. It's just a couple of bucks a month to help grow the show. We'll see you again next time on the West Life Podcast.